Why not?
Because nobody could get the ball to finish that hard except maybe a Mark Roth or a Marshall Holman. 10 years ago, here's a look at the pin action. No one could get the ball to turn that sharply on the back end. There were very, very few players, maybe a handful, 5 guys you might be able to name if you sat down and really struggled. They could create that kind of a back end or that much right to left action.
But there were guys playing that deep back then on certain occasions. They just kind of fell it back into the pocket.
They played that deep. A lot of very, very good players on that inside angle, but they made the ball skid on a line for like 58 feet and then just turn over a couple of hits.
We might skid it for 60, but trying for a double and doesn't get it. Suddenly the left lane giving him more trouble.
You can see the concentration on the face of Bob Spaulding. He thinks he's got this one in hand, and if he does get by Danny Wiseman, they don't get any easier. Remember, Brian Voss waiting in the wings for an opportunity to win this tournament, and he has to get by the winner of this match to get to the tournament leader, David Watka. Kind of interesting also, Mike, that this is our 4th tournament of the year, and we've had 20 different bowlers on the telecast. We've yet to have the same guy repeat in any of our telecasts.
So is that because the PBA is doing a different lane condition every week?
Well, I think that's because it's a test every week, and I think you're right. They're probably putting out different shots every week. The players have to make good shots. With the bowling balls that are available today, it's my opinion that if you let these guys go out and just bowl on, say, a house condition, they'd all average 250.
Oh, right lane continuing to give everybody trouble. Tana says, dear, you can make it. Can he make it?
You betcha he can make this. All right, hit the right-hand side of that 6-pin, slide it into 7.
Aiming at about 1/4 of an inch and just misses at 60 feet. Can't come much closer, but right now we've got an 8-pin match. Bob Spaulding with 140 in the 7th frame. Wiseman, if he strikes, will have 132. So 3 frames to go, still anybody's match, and there's the score. We see it.
You know, nobody has converted a split on television yet this year, on television.
That we've seen, yeah, because Tommy DeLutz made the 4-9 in the 10th frame, but we had gone to commercial break, so we didn't get to see that.
Big shot here. Needs to load up.
And does.
And he does.
Well, he's figured that lane out. He gets the finish over there.
He does. He's at the advantage right now. He gets to finish. Here's another look at that shot. Watch the ball straighten out. It's still rolling out, as Mike mentioned, but he had plenty of power. Entry angle is important, and the ball is gripping the lane.
And he gives it a little hip bump to knock it out.
Back-to-back wall shots on that lane for Danny Wiseman.
Any way he can get it, but he's got to make the adjustment here.
Well, this is the shot of the match for Danny Wiseman. If he doesn't strike here, his fate is not in his hands anymore. It'll be all up to Bob Spaulding.
Does he move deeper, or what does he do?
Good question, Mike. The left-hand lane has been the one that they've both been. Danny Wiseman in the opening match hit it best as far as hitting the pocket goes.
Oh, whatever he did, it was perfect.
Well, I am continually amazed at the ability of these young athletes, especially these younger guys coming up. Their ability to throw a bowling ball at 22, 23 miles an hour and still rotate it the way they do. The strength in their forearms and wrist is phenomenal. And their ability to make adjustments and know what that bowling ball is going to do when they're feeling the heat.
Bob Spaulding, 9th frame, trailing by 2. And the Brooklyn, but he leaves the 7. He was going for the demoralizer shot there, but
well, I'll tell you what, anything looks good on the scoreboard if you can get the strike.
Oh, that right lane, they'll take anything. But right now, the best he gets a spare.
Now's not a good time to get careless. Make the spare, go over to your good lane, get the 2 strikes in the 10th, and put the pressure on Wiseman to double.
And he has the spare in the 9th frame. We enter the 10th. Danny Wiseman leading by 2, but working on a double. Bob Spaulding, though, on his favorite lane. He's hit it the last 3 times in a row.
This first ball is so important. If he can strike here, it comes down to pin count. And it would put the pressure on Danny Wiseman to make a very good shot on lane 34, first ball in the 10th. Of course, if he can double, it's all the better. Lots of room here.
Oh, the can opener.
Oh, boy. Lots of power there. He's checking the scoreboard. You can see him looking off to the right to check, make sure that he knows exactly where he stands. He knows he's 2 pins behind, and a strike will put him 8 pins ahead.
That light hit where the ball kind of separates the 5 and 6. At least I always called it a can opener. Maybe, you know, of course I've been around a while. You know, that was back when they had can openers.
I remember reading that in a 1923 bowling book.
Did you really?
Yeah,
you read the same one, huh? For the double and the lead. Oh. Great shot, but leaves the 10 pin.
That's all you can do is make the good shot. Now, pick up the spare, shoot your 200 even. Danny Wiseman with a 2-pin lead. 9 spare 9, we got a tie.
Uh-oh.
Now there's a major error there.
Boy, is that lax? We've talked about Danny's record on TV. We had a chance to ask him why he bowls so well on television.
I have a plan of attack that I kind of abide by, and that's just going out and making 10 really good shots and hope my opponent doesn't match it. You know, it's just I've been very fortunate on TV, and hopefully it continues.
A little short with that one.
Oh, he talked about being fortunate.
Well, what's fortunate for one man is unfortunate for the other. Danny Wiseman has thrown several crossovers today, and I can offhand remember 3 that carried. And is that 4?
No, it's the third one.
That's
right
the third
there.
one that's carried. So, but this was a very fortunate, as you mentioned, for him here in the 10th frame. An unfortunate thing for Bob Spaulding, who gave it the best he could, but it wasn't enough.
And he leaves the 7 pin. With a spare conversion, Danny will finish up with 211 and be the winner, 211 to 199. So is he going to practice on a strike here? Yeah, he's going to change and give it a little practice here. Forget the spare, try something different for the next match. And Hall of Famer Brian Voss coming on, going straight up the track there. Did you see that?
That was 4-6 if it had been a full rack.
Oh,
right in the middle head.
Does he know that, though?
Oh, yeah, he was looking. He knows where those spots are.
Okay, well, we're headed to our semifinal match. When we come back, Earl Anthony, the Hall of Famer, will interview or have a guest, a very important guest. Stay tuned.